great Raider teams, and I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking for. He's a guy that can make some big plays from that tight end position. Let me tell you, you better make sure you have...
There he goes, left side. Touchdown. Tim Brown, 75 yards. And the AFC strikes quickly there for 6. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. There's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got him in, complete. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Throwing is far. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, Brandon, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to give the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
So after the INT, it's Brady. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing on first down is Brady. There's Hall bringing in another one. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Into the red zone, it's Brady. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Well, still some climbing left to do to get back to even, but forcing a turnover and getting the field goal there, that's a small step toward erasing the early deficit.
Absolutely. That interception field goal, that's the beginning of what they hope will be several steps towards erasing that deficit and building a lead of their own by the time this game is over.
Well, coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden? Is it the coach who led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl victory? Perhaps it's the broadcaster who entertained millions of fans. Or maybe it's the video game known simply by his name. But no matter what comes to mind when you hear the name Madden, everyone thinks of one thing: football.
The core of it was football. It's the greatest game in the world. The left goes to the right goes to the left.
Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. John Madden goes on the shoulders of his players.
In my mind, John Madden is the most important figure in the history of professional football. Show me somebody else who did it on 3 levels the way John did it. There's nobody.
Boy, Charles, yeah, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
I'm reminded what Al Davis said when he was inducted coach in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league. And you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt. Well, it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. By the second half, forthcoming from Oakland. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
He really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember, he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. He did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately will go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
At their own 18-yard line.
ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. They start on the ground here at Sanders. Up to the 20. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you're talking about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him. And now it's a staple for all analysts to have in the booth. And then you think about things like turducken out there.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by 9-time Pro Bowler Ed Reed. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Nursing such a small lead, you thought he'd take better care of the football after his last drive. Now for the 2nd straight possession, he's put all the pressure right back on his defense. They need to take a stand and hold that lead.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now, CD, we did get a little ahead of ourselves talking about John Madden, the broadcaster in the 90s and 2000s, because there was another product during that time period that he became quite famous for, and it's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the video game that bears his name. Originally John Madden Football when it was first released back in the late 1980s, and now known the world over simply as Madden.
And Coach saw this originally as a way to teach the game of football. The early designs were for a 7-on-7 game, but he said no chance. He would not sign off on it. He wanted to be as realistic as possible. He told them, call me when it's 11-on-11. And he got his wish.
Yeah, after that debut, Madden, the video game, continued to pick up steam through the 90s in a big way. And John himself, many will remember, was a commentator for the series for many years. And now here we are in the 2020s, and this game has sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million copies. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Vinatieri's kick is good. And the lead is down to 1 now at 14-13. And after the made field goal, here's Adam Vinatieri to kick it away. Here comes Devin Hester bringing it out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
2nd down, and back they go to Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Play action. It's Favre. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So 2 minutes remain in the John Madden legacy game. The NFC trying to hold on. And we're back to Oakland after this. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Smith as he'll try to run some clock. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. Running right, here's Sanders. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Going to give it up the middle. Here's Dickerson.
So, CD, you look at the accumulation of John Madden's achievements in the world of football, the coaching success, the Super Bowl title, the incredible career as a broadcaster with 12 Emmy Awards, Madden, the video game. It was very fitting back in 2006 that John Madden got the call to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A more deserving person you will not find. He gave an incredible speech on that day, Brandon. So many of his former Raider players were in attendance. He talked about how he envisioned that when the last person turns off the lights in the hall every night, that the bus talk football amongst themselves. And what a discussion that might be.
Yeah, he finished his speech by saying, "Today feels like the second time in my life that I'm being carried off on the shoulders of others. Yet instead of off the field, it's into the Hall of Fame. This has been the sweetest ride of them all."
A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They'll try and run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And as a result, possession switches hands. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's across for the touchdown. It's likely the game winner here in the closing stages. Now Brady. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're going.
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And that's picked up by the AFC. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
A run right side, it's Bettis. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. And here come the whistles and a timeout with 7 seconds left.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Here's Allen. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And they will take a knee here. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll run for it. This is Allen.
So it's a win here for the AFC on an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. Before we go, one final message.
Lights, cam, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Lights, cam, prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many given Sunday magic. Round of applause and you go, that's it. Damn, that's a bomb with a flick on my wrist. Jersey on my chest, that's a team that I rep. Came in as a rookie, now I'm balling like a vet. If you talking crazy, better say it with your chest. Hit him with the right, then I hit him with the left. Ooh, ooh. Then the juke move, Heisman, stiff arm, lights out, you snooze. Lights
It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll see who rules the skies in today's battle. It's the Ravens and the Jets, and it's coming up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Baltimore Ravens and the New York Jets. Up in the booth with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin here for the start, folks, of another NFL season. We are ready to go. We hope you are. And we'll begin this one, Charles, with a couple of teams hoping to move on from a tough 2021 season. Both the Ravens and the Jets finishing last in their respective divisions a season ago.
And let's start with Baltimore, because even in a very tough AFC North, I think we were all surprised to see the Ravens finish 8-9, snapping a streak of 3 straight postseason appearances. That's for New York. We knew the rebuild was going to take a little bit of time, but I think the last 2 years they've drafted in a big-time way, and now the groundwork has been laid, and this could be an opening salvo for Gang Green to announce that they're back in playoff contention.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from MetLife Stadium. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. We get our first look at this New York Jets offense, really retooled the last couple of seasons. And at the helm under center, second overall pick from 2021 out of BYU, Zach Wilson.
It was an educational rookie season for Zach Wilson, who was drafted to be the eventual face of the Jets as the team worked through a lengthy rebuild. 2,300 yards and 9 touchdowns as a rookie. He did miss some time mid-season with an injury, but I really like the work that the Jets have done to put people around him and give him his best opportunity to be not only the face of this franchise, but get him back into perennial playoff contention.
They run with a second-round pick from Iowa State. This is Breece Hall. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
Now the second-year man from Carolina, this is Michael Carter. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And unable to get downhill there, so he'll take this up to about the 37.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
They go play action with Wilson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Odafe Oweh showing off the pass rush skills.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Being chased, and he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. They'll start out here with the option left. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
Well, if you're going to run the read option, typically, you've got to keep an eye on the defensive end.
And what does that mean? What are you looking for with a defensive end?
Well, you want to play off of what he does. If he collapses inside towards the running back, then you pull it and take it yourself outside in. If he stays outside, you go ahead and leave it with the running back. In this case, pulled it and got good yardage himself.
He lost 4 there, and it's third down. Not a lot of of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
He's got his man. That's Wallace. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Ahead of the chains now. 2nd and 2. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2. 3rd and 1.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They're coming off a 4th down gamble that last drive that backfired, CD, but really not as badly as it could. Their defense held up and only gave up 3 points.
And what they want to do is play off the momentum the defense gave them. Only giving up the 3 points in that situation after they failed on 4th down. Now they want to make it pay off. They want to pay homage to the defense and have their own drive pay off in points for themselves.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now, Charles, here's the draft class for the Jets for 2022, and certainly a splash-worthy class. 3 first-round picks in one draft. And you also have to be impressed not only at the players they got there, but also on days 2 and 3.
You're exactly right about that. Arguably, they got the top player at that position when they made their selections in the first round. Cornerback Ahmad, Sauce Gardner, 4th. I had him rated number 2 behind Derek Stingley, but he's still one of the best ones in the draft. Wide receiver Garrett Wilson, they got him 10th overall. And defensive end Jermaine Johnson, 26. I thought he might go earlier to Atlanta in the top 10. And then maybe they landed the draft's best running back in Breece Hall on day 2.
And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On the give, this is their fullback. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. To give up the middle. He'll get this up to the 47 and brought down there.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Play action. It's Wilson. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. midfield now. Here's Wilson. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
This has to go down as one of the simple routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Straight ahead is Hall. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Nothing after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. On second down, a run with Carter. Even with the good footwork, he'll be stopped just inside the 35. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Now a pause, so there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. On the Jets sweep, this is Beasley, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not,
can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Now a pause, so there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. And they'll run the option to start the drive. And they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson options out left. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. And a solid job using his legs. 16 yards and a first down on the keeper. Jackson running again. The 20. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. On second down, there's the option going left. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That second down play nets a -4. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Now Jackson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And the Jets are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
We'll remind you that coming up tonight, the first Sunday nighter of the new season. And how about this for a matchup? The Buccaneers and the Cowboys from Dallas, 8:20 Eastern. Then tomorrow, Monday night, just one game here in Week 1 this year. And it'll pit the Broncos and Seahawks as Russell Wilson makes his Bronco debut. And, of course, where is it? Seattle. Coincidence? We'll let you decide. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll give it to Hall to start the drive.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A handoff for Hall. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. Hall again on 2nd down. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll run with Carter. They find some open field here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Rolling to his left. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Garrett Wilson. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Jets have taken the lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And Garrett Wilson capped things off with a touchdown grab.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away.
And here comes a return from
and all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And he takes it to the house. It's a fumble recovery for a Jet touchdown. So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Zuerlein now for the PAT. And this one's right through, making it a 14-3 ball game. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
That's into the hands of Crochet.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Throwing again on second down. Jackson to Boyle here over the middle. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Flushed out right. Finding space at the 40. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's scooped up by the Jets. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Well, that's unfortunate because he had a nice run going, but give credit to the defense. They got a hand in the cookie jar there, CD.
You have to think about vision, finding a place to get down after you know you've gotten all you can out of a run, and obviously ball security is paramount. In today's football, everyone's coming after the rock. You've got to make sure you protect it and protect the yardage you just gained.
Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Now Hall to start the drive. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And some space here. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They go play action now. Wilson. Open man is Uzomah. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That's another gain of 15 on back-to-back plays. A big completion there, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Very heady football. That allows them the opportunity to go ahead and line up and kick one right before the half ends.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this will remain an 11-point spread.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season, so let's take our first trip around the NFL. We kick off week 1 with a big division battle right out of the gate. New England heading south to take on Miami, and it's the Patriots with the lead in that one. 3 touchdown passes there for Mac Jones. Next, we head up to the Windy City. Check on the Bears at home, Soldier Field. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Trey Lance with a couple of touchdown passes. Lastly, we head to Southern California to check on the Rams at home at SoFi Stadium. And they were losers in their ball game as the visiting Buffalo Bills come in and took it to them. Josh Allen with 3 touchdown passes in the Week 1 victory. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Ravens. And even though they've got work to do on the scoreboard, their running game has been solid. Over 100 yards rushing in that first half. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they didn't have quite the same kind of success running the football, but still, not bad for one half of play. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Jackson. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, ruling on the field.
So the challenge does not sway the official's decision. Spot of the football going to remain right where it is. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing is Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Jackson. Flushed it, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Throw right side taken in by Wallace. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
And I believe that gain on 3rd and long changes things quite a bit because this would be a very long field goal. I wouldn't be surprised to see him go for it here.
They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. He needed a couple, but he didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Jets are going to get the football back. Even though they didn't get it, probably the right call. Too long for a field goal and just not a whole lot to gain from a punt there.
Yeah, you wouldn't have really netted very much yardage if you pumped the ball, right? And the thing about a field goal, and you know this from so much experience, the longer the field goal, the lower it comes out off the kick, right? Which means it's got a better chance of being blocked. So you're taking a chance either way. I like the fact they went for it.
Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their own 42. They'll start on the ground. Hall, and able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Granted, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Carter on the toss right. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3. The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. They'll run with Hall. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 79 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I love the modern game, but that was a throwback right there to see the big man with football, running, knocking people aside, and picking up yardage. That takes me back to the 60s, the 70s, when fullbacks ruled the earth.
And I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. And that's going to leave them with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt them. We'll be back. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. 7 yards there and a 1st down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll go again with Hall. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. With no no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Carter straight ahead. And they get to him quickly here as he stops right around the 13. Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Touchdown, Jets! C.J. Uzomah from 13 yards out. And the Jets are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. Zerlin good with a PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. The touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this fourth quarter.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to air one out. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Here's Jackson to throw.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. Jackson now. Eluding the pressure right.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
This is a rarity in the NFL, a 100-yard game on the ground for a quarterback. Even as those passers get more athletic and mobile, we only see about 5 of these a season. It takes a special set of circumstances for it to happen, and of course, a special player.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Jackson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Ball again on 2nd down. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 11. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. It was Justin Houston who got him down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10.
A give up the middle to Carter. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit.
He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter,
Ball has it knocked loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, maybe it hasn't exactly been a Rembrandt, but they've been mistake-free to this point and finally cough it up. I don't think it's going to cost them the game. They should be fine. But, boy, they're going to hate that going back and watching tape and being able to say we were that close to achieving our goal of 0 turnovers during the game.
A little blemish, but as you say, still comfortably in command. After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Hall. And that one, Charles, is just going to about wrap up what was no doubt a dominating defensive performance.
Yeah, I don't care what team it is. I don't care who you play, whether they're strong offensively or not. Just giving up 3 points in the NFL, that's absolutely a dominant performance and one that they can build on.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the fourth quarter, and now can really take some time off the clock. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Oh, Wilson going to throw. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And his throw is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. And obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. The city always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Jets, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Baltimore,